Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Pastor Don Bartow from the Total Living Center, talking about the next chapter is trying to help this spread. How do you do that? How do you start these up in cities? How do you identify the right people to connect with?
See, that I don't know, Susie, how to do it yet, but I think there are people out there. There's a lot of people who have come to the Total Living Center and have said, boy, we ought to have one of these. See, but for some reason, it hasn't touched their heart enough to do it. But I think there are ways, which I don't know yet, but I believe will be revealed as we go along. And you see, I'm in my 71st year of preaching, so I've been around the block for a while, but I want to get it done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let me just say, you put people who have not had quite as many birthdays as you to shame as far as energy level.
Yeah.
You wear everybody out, Pastor Bartow. I'm just saying. It's amazing, and you are an inspiration. And I think, God's got lots of stuff for you to do yet. So that's why you keep on going. Volunteering. Maybe there's somebody hearing this right now saying, hey, you know what? That is my gifted area. I do know how to connect in other cities. I would love to volunteer for the Total Living Center and help you expand. You've got lots of volunteer opportunities. Let's talk about volunteers and how important they are to the ministry.
Well, see, I feel that TLC volunteering is possible for everybody. Now, one of the problems about volunteering is, and this is natural, it's just the way society is. But one of the problems is that we feel the tangible volunteering has to be done at the facility. And so to get the time and to work it out, there's many a person that has said, I want to get down to the TLC and volunteer. I want my children to experience it and so on. But their life is so busy, they never get around to that, and they're involved in many other wonderful and good things. Point that I try to teach, and more all the time, is off-site volunteering. Off-site volunteering can be done by anybody, anywhere, and this would just change inner city ministries. Now look at it this way. If 500 of them some days said, just happened to say it the same day, I'm going to go down and help serve a meal today, we couldn't even get 500 in the building.
Right.
All right? So can do it. But if there were 500 people doing off-site volunteering, oh my, it would be tremendous. Now, what is off-site volunteering?
My very next question. What is off-site volunteering?
Well, off-site volunteering, as I see it, one of the best ways and one of the most usual ways of doing this is by making monetary contributions to the Total Living Center. And this could be made by mail or in person or online. Just go to our app and send it in. And so that's one off-site. You never have to be near it. In fact, some of the largest supporters of the Total Living Center don't even live in the area. They'd have to fly in to volunteer. But now, the other ways of off-site volunteering, just get a load of this. I can't mention them all, don't have time. But let's say you have grandchildren, little grandchildren. And grandparents love their grandchildren. We do, and we have 5 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, so we have a lot of people to love. But you get them together and you have a cookie day, and you make dozens of cookies at home. And then you bring them or send them to Total Living Center.
Awesome idea.
And oh, my goodness, what we can't do, giving those away to the children and serving them at meals, giving them out when we give away groceries. Or how about a church? I go around many churches, and most of them have wonderful kitchens. I mean, our kitchen is just one little room, and it's something else. But they're big stainless steel kitchens with every bit of equipment you need. Why not have your church cook a meal?
Awesome.
Cook a meal and then bring that meal, call us and say on August the 14th, we're bringing the meal down. Is that okay? Well, you bet it's okay. Well, bring the meal to Total Living Center. That's offset volunteering, you understand. Or let's say you're going to have a birthday party. And so for one of the children, for instance, well, instead of a present from people for this one child, why not have them bring a present to be given away to children, the poor children? A number of years ago, we had a family contact us, and at that time, I think their daughter was, I think it was her four-year birthday. But she decided she wanted to get blankets for the poor.
A 4-year-old?
And asked the people to bring a blanket to her party.
A 4-year-old thought of
yeah,
this?
She's about 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
And she did it for several years. Now, the first year, they got 20-some blankets.
Wow.
Oh, what a gift. What a gift. And the child was blessed, the family blessed, many other people blessed. And most kids, they got so many, that is, of the middle class and upper people, they got so many presents they don't know what to do with them anyhow. You have to have a separate room for the children's presents or toys or whatever. Now, so that's off-site. Or how about Christmas time? Why not, when you have Christmas, have a present, have folk bring a present for the poor, for Total Living Center. Now, each Christmas for the last several years, we have given presents to over 1,000 children. Now, that's a lot of children to give presents to. And we work together with Toys for Tots, and them and others make it possible. And we give all we can that fit their purpose from Toys for Tots. And then we have other gifts if families register late or have some other problem in regard to Toys for Tots, which just has to be that way. Now, we have gifts. We give no child has gone without a gift.
Yeah, so no one falls between the cracks.
Now, see, that's off-site.
Yes.
And it's exciting to me when you even think about it. And then how about a hobby? You knit, you have a garden, you do carpenter work, whatever it is that you make and do, you make quilts. It doesn't matter. As off-site, then either bring them to us to give away or sell them and send the money to the Total Living Center.
Love it. So who can't volunteer? No one can't volunteer. As you're watching TV and knitting something, and you don't have to take up a new thing. What do you do?
That's what I say.
Whatever you put your hand to, then make one more and donate it to the Total Living Center.
Right. See, and that's the reason that we've developed a flyer talking about this, explaining it. Now, there is a need for on-site volunteers. That's helping cooking and cleaning and serving and so on. But that's a limited number of people, really. But then we just need, it's unlimited, the number of people we need for off-site volunteering. And it would be just as meaningful as anything else. You see, the faithfulness of doing something tangible, that brings a blessing to you. You ought to try it.
Absolutely. So when we talk about volunteer opportunities, you name it.
Yeah,
right? You name it.
You name it, and there's no limit. Say we had 1,000. We get rid of it. We give it to the center, or we help a lot of small churches and others. And we reach out in the community in a lot of different ways. There are two ways very unique reaching out, I think. One of them is our laundromat. We have 3 washers and 3 dryers. And so where does the homeless people get their clothes washed?
Exactly.
They're dirty. Most of them are dirty. Well, they don't have any place. They don't have the money. And so we have that.
Awesome.
And then in that regard, also, we try at the Total Living Center to reach out in such a way that it touches the lives of people very tangibly. And that laundromat really is one thing that does it.
That's awesome. The other thing, before our time quickly goes away, you're doing something brilliant as far as a food drive. Now, I know even sometimes when they do where the mailmen are collecting food,
Yes.
it becomes so heavy for them to have to be picking up cans of food at everybody's mailbox that's almost become like something that they don't look forward to.
Yeah.
But and food drives, you might have a can of this or a can of that. You can't put that all together so that everybody gets everything. But you've thought of something, a non-shopping food drive. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that came to me, and so I contacted a company in Minnesota about sacks and trying to describe the size I wanted and everything. So they got the idea. Well, the idea is that instead of buying the stuff at the grocery store, you decide whether you want to buy a can of beans and some soap and whatever it might be, and then how much it costs approximately. Then we have a little sack that says non-shopping food drive, and you can take and put your check or cash in there, usually a check you use, and then you put a stamp on it and mail it. It's all already addressed and everything, and it comes right to Total Living Center in this sack. And so a church, for instance, could pass a sack out to every member and say, hey, just whatever you think you might buy, a box of cereal, or maybe you're going to spend $20 on groceries, then put 20 in there. Or maybe $1 million on groceries.
Sure, you'll take that, right? Yeah.
So that's the way that goes.
And then you're able to buy in bulk.
Oh, yeah, we buy in
You can
bulk.
make that stretch so much further than we ever
yes.
could.
And also sometimes maybe, and that will give us money for other vital needs. For instance, if you have an emergency electrical problem, you got to have money for that. It takes a lot of money to run a ministry like this. It's just amazing. Speaking of that non-shopping thing, if I may, on the off-site deal,
Yes.
we also have we have boxes that you could have at home, and when you come back from shopping, you have some change, drop it in this coin box, or it could be a check box or a bill, but then have it there where you put aside money for the poor at the Total Living Center, and then bring it down, count it, bring it down, or bring in the box, and we'll count it. But that's another way of off-site volunteering, you see. And this non-shopping food drive, though, that's the neatest thing. I think that can be done so creatively and helpfully by any organization or group.
So your church is going to want to get these really cool little non-shopping food drive bags and boxes to construct. You can reach the Total Living Center by calling 330-455-3663. That's 330-455-3663. Or go to totallivingcenter.org, totallivingcenter.org, and get those materials, and let's all come together as a community and help the poor. Pastor Don Bartow from the Total Living Center, thank you so much for all you do in our community.
Oh, you're welcome. Praise Jesus.